Welcome to the Only the Greatest podcast, where we explore the vital connection between fitness and success in all areas of life. I am your host, Shawn Wisdom, and my goal is to help you become the greatest version of yourself. And we do that through two different show types. Every Friday, we'll come to you with a full-length episode that may or may not include a guest. And on Tuesdays, you'll get a little nugget of knowledge that you can immediately implement into your health and fitness journey. If you happen to find any value in this show, all we ask you to do is leave a review and mention specifically what helped you out. If you're listening on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave that review in a comment. The one and only sponsor of the show is ourselves, OTG Fitness, which is a private personal training gym located on the south side of Houston, Texas in Webster. And you can find out more information about OTG Fitness by visiting otgfitness.com or searching OTG Fitness on any social media platform. How's everybody doing today? It's your boy Shawn Wisdom, and they left me the keys to the kingdom. Yes, sir. It's just me today. Phil had a dentist appointment, and so he left me to film today's episode of the Tuesday show. And what I wanted to talk about today is being fit as a content creator, photo, video guy. A little bit of backstory on me. I've only been going to the gym more consistently for about 2 to 3 years. And I am a full-time content creator, digital content creator, photographer, videographer, whichever one you would like to call it. And I handle all of the social media work for OTG Fitness and produce the podcast, other things like that. And then also I shoot my private stuff under the name Wisdom Media. We shoot all kind of different events, from the quince to the squat rack. We shoot weddings, small business work, grad portraits, whatever you want, whatever under the sun, I try to shoot it. So let's get right into it. What I wanted to talk about today is the fact that I think even as a creative, you need to be fit. If you want to be the greatest creative that you can possibly be in this field and be a high level competitor in this field, because you're competing, we are competing. Is there a competition? Yes. But is it like, like I'm trying to like slash someone's tire so they can't get to the shoot? No, not at all. No, but you do want to be competitive to some degree. And I think that the way you can achieve that is also being somewhat physically fit and physically active, because one of the big things is when you're a creative, you're going to be mobile a lot. You're going to be walking, hiking, running, standing at events for a long time. If you're shooting wedding photographers, they definitely can, give some insight on that. Most weddings are 6 to 8 hours, sometimes 10-hour days is what you're doing on a wedding. So if you are not very active, you sit around and you just, eat Cheetos and just watch anime, and that's all you do. And, while you're also editing photos and video, you're going to have a tough time on those longer shoots. And that's where a lot of the money is, and it's going to be kind of tough for you to really land those bigger shoots if that's what you want to do, because it's not always just weddings. I get it. Weddings can be extremely stressful to shoot. I understand 100%. But what if you want to shoot, let's say, a graduation party? What if you want to take pictures at your niece's birthday party? That's probably going to be, 5-6 hours. Do you want to be like, oh man, my back, let me take a seat real quick. And then you take a seat and then you miss the cake cutting. You miss this really cool moment between your aunt and your niece. It's like, man, that would have been really neat to catch that. That's how, but like when you're creative, I feel like you have to be just in the action at all times, because that's how you get those really nice, wholesome shots. I mean, I shoot with a lot of people, and those candids can really hit hard. So yeah, you're mobile a lot, so you have to be active. Also too, you're going to probably be doing a lot of, you're probably going to be in a lot of awkward positions when you're taking certain pictures. Fitness, for example. I think any time I'm shooting fitness, there's always going to be a low shot. There's always going to be a shot that involves me bending down and, putting your knees to work, putting your hips to work, putting your ankles to work. And you're going to put your camera basically on the ground, tilting it up a little bit to get a certain shot. And that could be the shot that it's like, man, someone's like, dude, I didn't even think of that perspective. That's so cool. That perspective shift can be huge. But also you got to think of, if you're shooting, let's say at a concert and you're trying to get shots over a crowd of people, or, some type of event where you're shooting over people, your hands are extended above your head. And sometimes you have a 5 to 7 pound camera over your head. If you have to do that enough in a day, man, it's like, man, your shoulders are going to be burning. But let's say you're the guy that doesn't. You're the guy that just, I'm not going to go to the gym. I'm not going to do all that. And then you get booked to do this event and your shoulders are locking up on you. It's like, man, I'm over here rubbing my shoulders in the corner. And I just missed the first dance, or something like that. But what I'm saying is just you want to be there. And once again, in the action, you want to be able to have the stamina to outlast these events to where it's just like another day to you. It's no big deal. So, excuse me. So, in another instance that I like to reference is, let's say you shoot cars a lot. I've shot cars a little bit in my time, and oh, excuse me. I don't know what's going on. Sorry about that. Tried to not sneeze in the camera so I didn't blow out the headphone listeners, but oh man. Phil has a cat, and I think I'm allergic to cats, and it's starting to get to me. Anyways, another thing I like to reference is shooting cars. So when you're shooting cars, a lot of the times it's going to be a lot of low perspectives. That's how you get a really good shot. But let's say you're shooting rollers. You're hanging out of a car on the highway, or you're hanging out of the back of a truck on the highway going 50, 60 miles an hour. You don't want to be some guy that's like, you have bad core strength, or you have bad grip strength on your camera. Hopefully you're using all the proper precautions to make sure that you're holding on to this $2,000 to $3,000 item as well as you possibly can. But you also want to be able to have the strength to handle this and get those stable shots. So yeah, you want to make sure that you're mobile, and so you can outlast the event. So that's my first point. My second point is going to be the mental stability. I am a strong believer in having healthy habits, something to pull you away from the thing that you do every day. I mean, I think if you're going into a different professional field, let's say you're like a nurse or something, I think that if you're a nurse, you should have some type of healthy habits for sure. But especially if your career was a hobby at one time. Like for me, of course, photography was a hobby for me, but now it's my career. That's how I put food on the table. That's how I, keep gas in my car. So it's very, very important to me that this thing stays as fresh to me as it possibly can for as long as possible. And I think the only way to do that and avoid as much burnout as possible is healthy habits of some kind, whether that be for some people that is playing video games, that is just stepping away from editing, from the video timeline. But for me, I found a lot of relaxation and stress relief in fitness, going to the gym, putting some heavy shit up and putting it down for a little bit, for an hour and a half. And it feels fantastic. I feel great. And having those healthy habits, and I'm gonna go right into the stress relief. That was my next kind of sub point to here. But yeah, it feels great to sometimes go to the gym and just let it all out at the gym for a little bit and go and have a big nourishing meal, not just like some BS, because sometimes that happens and it kind of screws up the whole vibe. But it's like, man, you go to the gym and you have a big salad with chicken and you got your chickpeas on there and all these other great things, and you eat those, it is a fantastic way to end the gym session for sure. So that's my go-to right there. It's just something about that. And then you go to bed, you take your shower, and it's just like, man, this is nice. Even if in which I wish that I had more time to do this. I don't always get to do this after an event, but going to an event, shooting the event, going to the gym, getting a nice workout in, and then going home, having your food, and then showering and going to bed. That sounds like, because even if the shoot wasn't that great, even if there was some technical issues, the weather wasn't that great, your client was kind of rough, you were having a bad day, at least you win that. At least you get the win there to where it's like, man, I got it. I got something. I won something today. And that helps with the stress of it all. So that's one thing to close out that second point. My third point is going to be longevity. I'm 30 years old, and I believe to be able to do this, like I was saying earlier, at a higher level, I think that you need to be sharp, you need to be focused, you need to be healthy. And the only way you can do that is with some type of fitness regimen. It helps teach you a little bit of discipline, but moral, I would rather, I don't even know if that's the thing, moral, but anyways, just making up words on the fly, baby. Shit, we're creatives, man. We're creatives. But anyways, I think that like I said, I want to be able to do this for a long time. I want to still at 40 be surprising myself. I want to outwork myself from when I was 30. That's the goal. I want these next few years to just be absolute powerhouse years, because I finally have the chance to where I can do it at a full-time level, at a full-time high level. I mean, it's like, there's not a lot of people that do get to do it full time. So I'm pretty fortunate in my position. So I'm very happy, and I want to take full advantage of shooting, going to the gym, and building those very, very healthy daily habits, so I can do this for not only a long time, not only a good time, but a long time. I want to do this for a long time. Very good. So that's my goal there. And so that's what we're shooting for. So I think that fitness can help with that in a major, major way, because I don't want to be the guy that's like 35 and I have hip issues. I don't want to be the guy that's 36 and I'm complaining about my rotator cuff. I don't want to rip my ACL at a wedding and then I'm out for, however long that takes. And now that's my new thing that I'm going on about. Oh man, I can't bend down and get this shot, dude. My ACL, man, my knee is killing me, man. I can't do that. I don't want to be that guy. So being as active and aware of that as I can is how I combat that. And so some of the ways that I like to stay fit, and I like to keep it really simple. That's the one thing I shoot for a lot of the day. And some days I'm shooting all day. I'll wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning and I'll shoot all the way until 8 or 9 at night. So it's like very, very easy for that to happen. So what helps me is simplicity. And I think that it helps a lot of people is simplicity. And so every morning, number one, every morning I try to stretch, get some type of mobility work in. I try to hyper focus on my legs, knees, ankle, and hip mobility, and then also back, lower back, and I just kind of work my way up. So I'll start with like little ankle stretch, ankle twist here and there, and then I'll do some couch stretching, try to really open up those hips. just air squats for the knees, and I'll do like some deep stretching there, and then I'll work my way up through the lower back area, posterior chain, and all that other stuff. And so I try to make sure that I really focus on stretching and mobility work every single day. If I don't even if I don't work out, even if I'm not lifting, I try to do some type of stretching and mobility work. Second is going to be drinking plenty of water. This right here is 32 ounces of water. It's not too hard to drink at least 3 or 4 of these a day. Luckily, there's a water fountain at OTG. I just fill it up there. I have a water fountain at home. I fill it up there. You can just get a 5-gallon water fountain and just fill it up at home. But you want to make sure you're drinking at least 2 to 3 of these a day. I think the daily recommended is a gallon. Sometimes people say, I don't think you need to always do that. I mean, me personally, I don't do it. It's like, but I always try to drink at least a couple of these a day. 2 to 3, that's a good day for me. As far as a workout plan, push, pull, legs, shoulders is what I've been doing lately. So I like to get in the gym about 3 to 4 days a week. Even before I started working at OTG, that was something that I tried to stick to. And it was a little bit of a looser schedule. I was going to crunch a lot. So it was about 3 days, 2 to 3 days a week. But now I try to do 3 to 4 days a week. Push, pull, legs, and shoulders. If I don't do shoulders, I will put that on my actual leg day too. I'll do shoulders separately because I did feel that there was a weak spot for me. Front, middle, and rear delts were just kind of sore after shoots sometimes. So I felt like that was a weak spot that I really needed to work on. So I really try to be intentional on my shoulder workouts. And I also try to do abs on those same days too. So I'll do planks, side planks, leg raises, other things like that, because my ab and core area is extremely weak. I do not work out abs as much as I should. So, but if I don't get to shoulders, I'll work it in with my legs. But, and on the push pull leg part, every couple of weeks, I'll actually switch it up and I'll put legs first. And that's a good way to keep it fresh. And then I always try to stick to, a pretty simple workout. I want to say about 4 to 6 movements is kind of my go-to. Depends on what day it is. And then I'm kind of in and out. I try to stay in there for about an hour, hour and a half. And that is a great workout for me. You don't have to be in there for 3 to 4 hours. I know that's some people's excuses for not going. I just don't have the time. I think you have the time. You can make the time. You just got to be a little bit disciplined on that. And eating. Got to make sure you're eating. And on my notes here, I put eat at least 2 to 3 pretty good meals. And when I say pretty good meals, I'm saying this specifically for people that I know are on the go and on the run often. Sometimes you can't get to a salada, in between the wedding shoot where you are shooting the reception and the ceremony. Sometimes you can't get to it. So, if there's an option that's a little bit healthier, Chipotle, a salada, if you can get to something like that, or even something lighter from a Chick-fil-A, something, but you want to make sure that you're getting at least 2 to 3 pretty good meals, pretty nourishing meals a day. Along with the water that you're drinking, you should be pretty well nourished throughout the day. And the reason why is because you don't want to be hangry at your shoot. You don't want to be shooting grad photos and all you're thinking about is the wings you're about to go eat as soon as you're done with this, because you kind of lose concentration. You might forget a pose or something like that. And that is the absolute worst when you get home and you think about a pose that you could have gotten. I had to slap the table. That was the absolute worst. But it's terrible when you get home and you have a pose in mind and you're like, man, I was going to use this pose. I was going to do this certain thing. We're going to go to this certain area. And I forgot to go because I was thinking about going to Frank's Pizza in downtown Houston, which is a great pizza place. Not a sponsor. But yeah, Frank's Pizza or something like that, your brain's on something else and you're not fully committed in the shoot. So like I said, to be able to perform at a high level, you need to be completely focused on exactly what's in front of you. So if you're shooting a grad shoot, if you're shooting a proposal shoot, you're shooting a wedding, you're shooting a quince, you're shooting fitness, whatever that is, you're shooting a music video, whatever that is, you want to be completely locked in on your current situation so they can get the best of you. Therefore, you can get the best out of the shoot. And then last but not least, walking or running a few times a week. Man, we gotta get outside more. We gotta be walking more. We gotta be running more. I try to run like a fully intentional run, probably 1 to 2 times a week. If I have a run coming up, I'll try to bump that time up a little bit more, but it all depends on how my week looks. But I do get at least 3 to 4 long walks in a week. That one's really easy. And it's such a great thing to do after like a big meal, a long day, just something to clear your head. I mean, sometimes I went on a 5K one day. I ran like one of my fastest 5Ks just trying to clear my head one day. I had a stressful day and I was like, you know what? I'm so stressed. Let me throw my running shoes on and go run a 5K. So it's like, it happens. And it is a great way to kind of going back to the stress relief thing. I think that physical movement and physical fitness is one thing that can definitely help bring those stress levels down and kind of bring you back down into reality and just be like, all right, man, cool. So things really aren't as crazy as I thought they were. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to talk about. All in all, just being a physically fit person is just a benefit, and it doesn't have to be as difficult as some people make it out to be. It can be very, very simple. And I think that all creatives in any field should implement it as quickly as they possibly can. Because like I said, we want to do this good for a long time, not just for a good time or a long time. I guess I'll go over everything that, like, the benefits and, you know, the things you got to look out for, you know, just the reasons why. One of the reasons why you want to be an active creator is you're mobile often. The mental stability, it helps with your mental stability. You being mobile, you're going to be mobile often. So you should be mobile in your regular life often. So you can outlast the events that you're doing and you're not getting totally trampled by just the sheer time of these events. Longevity, you want to be able to do this for a long time and shoot and be active in your community for a long, long time. And also the ways I stay fit is stretching and mobility every day, drinking plenty of water, push-pull legs is my workout split, eating 2 to 3 pretty good meals, and walking and running a few times a week. Thank you all for tuning in to the OTG podcast. We appreciate everybody for commenting, and sharing all the time. And we will see you guys on the next episode. Peace out.